Hello and welcome to Fit to Box. Today I've got 10 things that I hate about amateur boxing. First one, as an England boxing coach in an amateur boxing gym here in the UK, I hate it when I say to someone, you're about to spar and they say, I haven't got my gum shield with me. If you are going to a boxing club, even if you're not sparring, if you've got no intention of sparring, still take your gum shield with you, because even in drills or even on the bags you could have your gum shield in. It's great to get used to it. There shouldn't be any reason why you don't have your gum shield if you're going boxing. Another one for me is press-ups with gloves on. I hate it when people have got gloves on and the coaches say, right down, give me 10, give me 20, and the people have to do press-ups in their boxing gloves. No good for the leather, no good for the padding. Really is a bad thing to do, I think, if you're a coach. All you're doing is damaging the gloves. They have got to be used, not only have they got to be used on the bags, but those gloves have got to be used in sparring as well, and doing press-ups on them is not going to help that glove last a time. And doing press-ups on them is not going to help those gloves last for long. Not paying. People arriving at the boxing gym and say, I haven't got the money. They've got their gym bag, they've got all their stuff with them, they want to train, but they are expecting to not pay. I hate it. If someone comes up to me and says, yeah, I haven't got the money, I'll pay double next time, that's fair enough. Whereas those people try to get something for nothing and come into a club, which is basically, we're doing this voluntary. The club, everything we put into the club comes from the money that comes in. So really, if you are not paying for your sessions, especially if it's on a regular basis, you should be ashamed of yourself. Having your groin guard in your bag. You see it loads of times in sparring where somebody gets punched below the belt. I'll say to them, where's your groin guard? And they say to me, it's in my bag. Where do you think it should be better placed? If you've got a groin guard, even if it takes a minute or so just to put it on, always protect yourself at all times. That means with your head, your body, but also below the belt. People that you ask, do you want to spar? And they say yes. And when they see who you're putting them to spar with and they don't fancy it, suddenly they've either forgot their gum shield or they don't want to spar anymore. Give your head a wobble. This is boxing. You're not going to win every spar, and some of those spars are just good learning spars. So if you're asked to spar, make sure you do. As an amateur boxer, you should be on weight. That is a given. You shouldn't be ballooning up or eating stuff that you shouldn't. That means that you're 2, 3, 4 kilos over where you need to be. You should always be on weight. And to go with that as well, make sure you're doing your runs and make sure you're doing your sprint work. Far too many people think that S&C, strength and conditioning sessions, that's going to do it. You can't skip on the runs. You can't skip on the sprints. You really do need to knuckle down when it comes to being an amateur boxer, because essentially you are on call for a bout at any moment. We could get a call. It might be the Tuesday. You've got a bout on the Thursday. You need to be on weight. You need to be fit. Another bugbear of mine is when we go out to bouts. Firstly, we all get there for the weigh-in time, and then we're all waiting around for the doctor. Why is it that doctors cannot appear on the time that they should be there? So I spend hours and hours of my life and the boxers' lives waiting for doctors to appear, only to, when they arrive, they've got a big long line of people they need to do, and so the medical turns into a, are you okay? Touch the hands. Are you okay? Wave them on. You're fit to box. Not even a proper medical. It's so rushed. If they appeared on time, they would be able to do a proper medical for each boxer, which, let's be honest, that's what they're being paid for. Another thing is obviously the hours and hours and hours that you have to wait at boxing shows where you're weighing in the morning, and sometimes it might be about 27, 28 when a boxer actually gets into the ring. I really despise that as well, because in England boxing, if you've got 30 bouts on, then you need to have a weigh-in in the morning for the first 15 bouts and a weigh-in of the dinner time for those people that are fighting later on in the day. Makes perfect sense to me, but unfortunately we are just in this loop of a weigh-in in the morning and then waiting and waiting and waiting. Overactive refs in a bout. If the ref is getting too involved, it's not about you, referee, it's about the boxers. Too many times I see this whereby it's almost like the ref thinks the crowd is there to see them and not. They're there to see a good bout, a good amateur boxing bout, and so many times I see where the ref, by intervening too much, is wrecking the actual bout and not letting it flow. We also, in amateur boxing, you see a wide disparity in what is counted as a standing 8. Some, one big punch, they're in, standing 8. Others, there's a total war going on, no standing 8s. So there's a real disparity amongst refs about the standard of the reffing, but also the judgment calls that they are making. Again, head up rule is a really strange one for me. Some are really on it when it comes to head up, and the person's only got to duck down, especially the shorter boxer, they're being told off. I'd have to say though, one of the best referees that you can get is somebody who is brave enough to take those points off when repeated fouls are happening. Same again with judges. In our area, I think that we've got some great judges, I really do. Everybody is human, of course, and people do get things wrong, and a different viewpoint around the ring can affect how you're seeing about. And of course, I wouldn't want to be a judge myself. It's a tough old job, especially with the crowd and everyone disagreeing. But we do see some really awful decisions in amateur boxing still now. Some of it is incompetence. Some of it, you've got to ask the question, is it worse than incompetence? Because it just is a little strange how some of these decisions go. But in the main, I do think that the judges do try to get it right. They have got a tough job. Brave coaches. There's a lot of brave coaches in boxing. There's a lot of narcissist coaches in boxing. My advice whenever you encounter a narcissist coach is get away. It's all about them. It's not about you as the boxer, and you are the number one. A great coach is someone that lifts you up, doesn't put you down, and also really has got your back as a coach, really cares for you and wants the best for you. It's not about the ego of the coach. It's about your training, and it's about your development, and more importantly, it's about your safety. If I've got a boxer that is struggling in the ring, I don't mind throwing in the towel. It doesn't reflect that I'm a bad coach. It reflects that you are a good coach. If you can clearly see that your boxer is in a position where they may get hurt, we are dealing with a lot of children, we're dealing with a lot of teenagers. You know, it is amateur boxing at the end of the day. If you need to throw that towel in, swallow your ego, throw the towel in. So there I have been dealing with things, little pet hates of mine in amateur boxing. I don't think anything's going to change, but that is sort of a list of things that for me, you know, could be improved in the sport. In saying that, I am dwelling on the negative there because it is a fabulous sport. I think England Boxing do a great job when it comes to organising different events. We are getting lots of great tournaments, we're getting lots of great box cups. And as you're on the scene, as you're sort of waiting around for the bouts, there is a tremendous amount of great coaches giving up their time to help other people and other people's children. There's a lot of good people in boxing. The officials, they do it, yeah, they get some small expenses, but you know what? They are giving up their time so this sport can be facilitated. So hats off to all the coaches out there, all the judges and all the referees and all the officials as well when it comes to amateur boxing. It's a great community. I love it, absolutely great. And even though I've listed today some things that could be improved, I have to say, amateur boxing is thriving and it is superb to see. I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe to Fit to Box, and I shall speak to you soon.